Hi everyone, welcome to Gilbhub TV. Today I'm going to be talking about voluntary work, and this is a topic which came up on a LinkedIn forum which I am part of, and there was a lot of discussion around it, so I thought this might be something quite interesting to talk about in one of my videos. Now, someone made a very good point. The question was, how can I get voluntary work as a new copywriter? So this was a copywriting forum, and this guy was new to copywriting and he just wanted to be able to build his portfolio with some voluntary work. So he was asking for advice on how to find it. And the good question came up from one of the members of the group, which was, why would you do voluntary work at all? You know, why would you put your time and your effort and your skills towards something where you weren't being paid for it? So I thought this might be a good way to start. So reasons that I would give for doing voluntary work, especially if you're new, but not exclusively if you're new, include things like building your portfolio, getting your experience, getting experience in a wide range of areas. So even if you are actually someone who's been writing for a while, but perhaps you've never written for a certain industry or a certain sector or even a certain medium, such as web or print or blogs, then getting some experience in something like that can be really useful, even if it's something that you're doing voluntarily. So those are the main reasons that I think of. There may be some others, let me know if you have any others. But for me, those are good reasons, especially if you are new to the industry, to actually take on some voluntary work and do some stuff, even if you're not being paid for it. So the next question is, how do you find voluntary work? And there are so many different ways that you can go about this. Something that I started doing straight away as soon as I took this career path was to write theatre reviews. And those of you who follow me online will know that I write regular reviews for a website called Everything Theatre. And at the moment I'm doing about one a month, but for a while I was doing one a week. And these are all voluntary, so I don't get paid for them. And there's a reason that I did it, one being that I wanted to build my portfolio, but also because theatre is something that I love and it's an interest, so it's something that I enjoy doing, and I get free tickets, which is nice. So if you have an interest or something like that, whether it's theatre or fashion or food and drink or technology, science, whatever it is, whatever your passion is, see if you can find a way of channeling that into some writing for voluntary purposes. So it might be a case of Googling online and Googling for voluntary reviewers or voluntary guest posts, voluntary writers, voluntary blogging, guest blogging. All of these kinds of phrases are good because they're going to bring up lots of search results for people who are looking for exactly that. And if you want to get specific and do it like I did within a certain niche or a certain area, then include that in your search terms and I'm sure you'll find things. It's also a good idea to put your location. Not essential, but especially if it's something like restaurant reviews or theatre reviews, because obviously it's key that you're in the same place as the people who are running the publication. Another good place you could look is the local community. So if you have a local college or university or school, excuse me, even if you have just a local paper for your area where you live, those are all places that quite often will have people writing for them voluntarily. So it's always worth inquiring if there's an office you can go to, or if it's a school or even somewhere like a hospital, and asking if they have an internal or an external publication that you could perhaps contribute to. It's also good to think about who you know. So if you have family members, friends, people that you know who work for organisations, find out if any of those guys have got blogs. And especially if it's a smaller business. If it's a larger business, then there's a chance they're going to already be hiring a copywriter or perhaps even using someone in-house as part of their marketing team. If it's a smaller company, such as a small shop or just a run-from-home business or a freelancer, they might really appreciate the opportunity to get someone to write for them for free. I know a lot of people in my circle would. So if you know anyone like that who's a friend or relative who you might be able to help out by doing some writing, then definitely use those contacts as well. Another thing you could try is charities. So if you've tried local businesses, you've tried local institutions and local community services, you can also try charities, because most charities will have people working for them for free generally, whether it's in a shop or online or as part of their website. They'll have volunteers all the time in every area, so it's always worth checking with those guys as well. Lastly, if you are just looking to build your experience more than your portfolio, you might try looking at websites which are generally known as content mills and are content mills. So if you know what content mills are, they're basically a way of getting content quite quickly from a range of different copywriters, and generally speaking the pay is lower than it would be if you were working directly as a freelancer with a client. Content mills can be good if you are new to writing, just because they help you to hone your skills as a whole. So you'll get to write on lots of different topics, you'll get to write on short deadlines, short turnarounds, you'll get to work with feedback. It's quite useful for those kind of skills and just kind of getting into the rhythm of writing regularly. They're generally not so good as a portfolio booster, just because quite often it's ghostwriting, which means you can't put your name against it. So you're going to be providing writing, other people are going to be using it, and they're probably going to be putting their name or their company name against it and not crediting you. So as part of your agreement, you're likely going to be asked not to tell anyone that you've done this writing, which means that unfortunately you can't use it as part of your portfolio. But it is good experience, and really all experience is good experience when you're new in something. So that is something that I would advise trying if you feel like it, if you're pro content mills. And you may also get paid as well, so it's got a little bit of a money value as well over just straight voluntary writing. So hopefully those tips have been helpful for you. Are you new to copywriting? Let me know if you've got any tips, if you've done anything like this when you first started out, any places where you think you could get good voluntary experience. And yeah, leave me a comment, leave me a tweet on Twitter at @HannahGilb, or comment on my website at www.gilbhub.com. And I'll see you next time.